All right, the title of the video today is Do Not Gear Up. Ultron past 12, and do not take Ultron into Dark Dimension 3. And we're going to talk about that right now with Reminix. And welcome. What's up, Reminix?
What's going on, Mobile? Oh man, that's if all these regrets.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a reason why we're saying this, and I want to talk about resource management for a minute with you, and specifically SBCs, gold materials, Dark Dimension 3, and so on. And I think we're picking on Ultron for one particular reason, and the reason why we're picking on Ultron is yes, you do need to take some characters to 13 to finish Dark Dimension 2. Ultron's not one of them, right? It's like because he's the reward, right? So the idea is that you take a character 11, take them up to 12, but don't spend gold materials on characters that you're not going to take to 14, and explain why that is.
You're going to be stuck behind. You don't need to bring a team of 5 into for every rate into Dark Dimension 3. We didn't know that, so I made a ton of mistakes.
Yeah, so the problem is that at the time when we were started getting ready for Dark Dimension 3, we were all sitting on 6,000 or so SBCs, and we just really didn't take into account that there's about 1,000 required per character, and that we really only can upgrade like 6 characters. And then after, then it gets incredibly steep when we see offers in the store for SBCs, $19 for 100. Well, $20 only gets you 1/10 of the way to where you need to go to finish out a character. And I think the problem that we had is we were all looking at this. This is a fantastic website, by the way, msfpal.gg. And we're saying, okay, well, what 5 characters do I want to do global? What 5 characters do I want cosmic? What 5 characters do I want city? And then we're calculating the mini uniques here and trying to split it apart. And it was a trap. And the reason why it was a trap is that you only need 5 characters to go into Dark Dimension 3. 5. And then after that,
your only barrier entry.
That's it. You're done. Then when you get to the global nodes, you only need to take in 1 character. And then when you get into the cosmic node, you really only need to take 1 character. And so what we want to do is I maxed out Ultron, and Ultron was very resource intense. He took a lot of those mini uniques instead of doing Minerva, which is vital. Those cosmic nodes, 11 and 12 are the worst nodes in the whole thing, and they're almost impossible to do without Minerva and Ebony Maw, right?
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. It took me so long until I got Minerva up. I couldn't do Node 12 until I got Minerva.
So talk about you've got a list here of 6 vital characters for Dark Dimension 3, and I think most people are sitting on a stockpile of SBCs, and they need to look at how many they have and then go from there. Why don't we talk about number 1 priority, in my opinion, I'm sure your opinion is the same as mine, is of what character to do first?
No doubt is Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's absolutely Phoenix. I think that she is the game changer.
All right, talk about why Phoenix is an absolute must for Dark Dimension 3.
Now, again, the thing about Phoenix is when you upgrade her special, which is until then, a lot of people probably didn't realize it. She's doing that drain, and because she gets to die once, and then when she dies, she comes back and gets that drain, and that drain's doing a chunk of damage every single time she dies. So realistically, because of the damage the DD3 is doing, that's it.
Yep.
Just let her die.
So we're talking about vitality drain on her summon, and the beauty of this is that her summon will not have any cooldowns. So like when we're talking about Minerva and Ebony Maw, those cooldowns are long, and you're maybe using that every 6th time you go into battle or something ridiculous. This is literally happening every single battle because her summon, she dies, her summon comes out, and her summon's not on cooldown. She's easily the only god tier no-brainer for Dark Dimension in my opinion. I mean, the rest of them, there's a lot of characters that are amazing, but as far as no-brainer, she's absolutely vital. And in those first 8 nodes, my experience is that she was doing 80-90% of the damage every single time. I mean, was your experience as well?
Yeah, and if you looked at my attempts, most of my attempts, a lion's share of them were me just bringing in Phoenix or somebody to take the heat off Phoenix. to do damage.
It's
That's what the
literally
attempts look like.
it's literally cheapest just to refresh her once and go back in if you're coring. You don't have to take anybody else in with her, and that's it. I mean, she's really the only no-brainer now. You can go through the first 8 nodes with Phoenix, and that's kind of my suggestion right now. Is that there are going to be other characters. We're going to get to what to do after you've had these 6 done here in a minute. But let's talk about the cosmic nodes, because the cosmic nodes, specifically 11 and 12, are an absolute nightmare. Talk to me about how Minerva works in that and how Ebony Maw works in that.
Yeah, so they have very, very similar kits because of the drain. And that drain, just like it was in DD2 when you had Minerva, was such a big portion of the damage. Now, the thing about Maw is he also allows you to have slow, so you get that ability up faster, and offense down, so you're not dying as quickly. Minerva, obviously, we're familiar with Minerva's kit. That 15% has been a staple of doing raids and Dark Dimension. And then, obviously Hela, the fact that Greg is the hero that we've needed.
Okay, so
takes a lot of the heat off the units.
In fair, okay, what's before we go? Okay, so we've talked about the 3 characters in the game that have health steal events that's based off of the opponent's health. Phoenix, Summon, Minerva, and Ebony Maw. So in my opinion, those 3 characters are kind of like the focus, and they're going to do a majority of the damage. Then when we talk about a character like Ultron and the benefits to Ultron, and let me tell you, my experience with Ultron is literally the only benefit to Ultron is that he dies twice. I mean, he dies twice, which is cool, right? Because the damage output on the opposing team is so high. You literally go into battle, you get hit once and you die. He revives, which is cool, which makes him better than 90% of the other characters out there. This is why Hela is amazing, not because of Hela, but because of Greg. And explain who Greg is for the people who don't know who Greg is.
So, Greg is your undead Asgardian. And the thing about Hela is that summon that she has, when it dies, it also rewinds time for your opponent.
Yeah.
So basically, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So the advantage to Hela is not Hela. It's Greg. I mean, it's this. Every time he takes a hit, and it's like one of your characters not dying. And if you're going through Dark Dimension 3 in tryhard mode and going through multiple times, you're looking for those runs where they just continuously hit him over and over and over and over again. And every time that they hit him, they're not killing one of your things. Now, you could say the same thing about Ultron, that he summons bots, but how often does that happen?
Not enough. And that's the thing about it is and then it's not like he instantly summons them again.
They're once if you end a node with and you are on max cooldowns, you're not going to see an Ultron summon for 5-6 days or something, or many days or many refreshes, and this undead Asgardian is showing up every single time. So let's get back to this list. So we're kind of explaining the bare essentials, and we're going to explain what to do after you've done, let's say, these 5 characters, these 6 characters, or at least allocated the resources for these 6 characters. I think if you have 7,000 superior basic catalysts, then you can start looking at it at characters beyond this. But it's rough because you're going to run out of these SBCs. All right, let's talk about Symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage for the city nodes. You pretty much can go through those nodes with these 2 characters only, right?
Yeah, and I didn't have Carnage up. I actually did the first 2 nodes with just Symbiote Spider-Man.
Yeah. And that has to do, so Symbiote Spider-Man you have to do obviously first. Well, not obviously, but the reason why you want to do Symbiote Spider-Man first is because of his passive is specifically linked to Dark Dimension, right? And it just becomes bonkers right here. And then Carnage just, his passive also giving him turn meter when they drop below, 25%. I guess it's not going to happen a lot in Dark Dimension, but it's still helpful, right?
Well, and you can control when it happens too, so you can decide when that happens, because you're going to have a team of, you're facing an enemy team with 8 to 10 players, opponents, and so dropping them below 20% is going to get you that speed when you need it.
All right, and so I want to move on to this next part of the conversation, because I think this is vital right here, is after you've allocated the resources for these 6 characters, my suggestion is to only upgrade your absolute favorite characters in the game. We're talking like Black Bolts, your arena team, your U7 team. No trash characters are going to be worth the materials at this time. Tell me, let's talk. We're going to go into each of your rosters and rant about the characters that we personally wasted resources on, and because we all did it, because we didn't understand. I think we all intuitively understood, like this chart here suggests, the superior mini unique crunch. It's real. And we all realized that, all of these are the original uniques, right? We have the superior mini uniques, the ones that cost 50,000 in the supplies, and then we have the normal uniques, which cost 72K. Like, we were aware of the crunch on those. I personally didn't understand this SBC crunch at 1,000 per character. And so I was making my decisions based off of just those two factors. And then I was making foolish decisions, and I know you did too, upgrading characters like Shield Medic and Shield Trooper. And Shield Trooper seemed amazing because he didn't take any of these mini uniques. It doesn't matter. The SBCs are valuable. So do you want to look at my roster first, or look at your roster as far as characters we wish we hadn't have upgraded? Because Ultron's on the top of the list, right?
Let's do your roster first, because didn't you actually do Ultron?
Yeah, I did Ultron. Oh, and it seemed like Ultron would be good after Minerva's done, let's say, right? I mean, that's after these are done, right? But before,
well, even then, I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're starting at up here, Gear 12, and the first one on the list is Black Bolt, and I believe Black Bolt is my favorite character in the game, and I use him in every single game mode, so I got value. But I don't think I would recommend doing him before these other characters that are on this list here, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about Black Bolt and your experience with Black Bolt. He's tanky. He actually could take multiple hits. It's kind of nice.
So Black Bolt does a lot of damage, but the problem without somebody like Yo-Yo feeding him energy, he doesn't do it very often. And while he does things like clear, it just wasn't enough for me to justify all the investment I had in him.
Yeah.
And then and he's great. And when he did his when his abilities were up, they were helping me push somebody down, and potentially kill him. But believe it or not, Minerva did more damage.
Yeah, Minerva's going to do more damage. And he doesn't have a way of healing himself, so he doesn't even have the value that Hela does of healing herself and the minions soaking up extra damage. And he's not tanky enough to account for Hela's Asgardian and get killed like 5 times in one round, which is amazing when that happens. Yo-Yo, the offense down on the opposing side doesn't help. Very little, right? It does a little bit, but not enough, right? It's basically just not doing anything. And plus, you can't use Yo-Yo and Black Bolt. You can't use them on the same nodes anyways, because she's global and he's cosmic, so you can't even run them together.
And not even that, just that. I think we found an instance where sometimes the Yo-Yo wasn't sticking the offense down as the resistance went up, and she just was dying.
Yeah. So again, she's a good. I think she's a useful character to take to 14 after these people are done. After this is like priority right here. If you want to get through Dark Dimension 3, and there's no character tied to Dark Dimension 3, but still the rewards are immensely helpful. At least once you go through it the first time, you're going to have the resources to upgrade all your character. You're going to get the first time completion bonus, and then you could take almost an entire team up to 14, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing is when you look at my roster, you're going to see the first and second run that I've actually done, and you'll see that some of my units are going to be like, well, Redmond has those, but that's after I've done my first and my second run of DD3.
Yeah, I think for the first. Man, I am stuck right now on nodes 11 and 12, and I don't have these two guys done. I don't have these two. I'm going to be stuck working on these 4 characters, and I'm showing you the characters that I wasted resources on when I could have worked on these 4 and been done by now, finished the whole thing, and then all the rewards at the end could have went back into Black Bolt or the characters that I actually wanted to do, or Black Order for that matter. I mean, you see these crazy Black Order teams out there now, and it's because they just finished Dark Dimension 3. Let's keep going on my miniature rant here about characters that I upgraded. Mr. Sinister, Thor, Sif. No. I want to give a shout out to Colossus. I actually feel like he helped indirectly with my Phoenix, making my Phoenix survive longer and making my run, getting Phoenix, Phoenix goes into summon. She health steals, and then Colossus allows her to stick around one more turn so she can AoE with her ultimate. Fantastic. Do you agree?
Oh, so I mean, I wouldn't bring him up as a priority, but on my second
No.
run, I had him, and he was amazing.
Yeah, I still would not. But the thing is okay. So like we've got this list here of musts, if you will. I don't know if they're musts, but highly suggest. I don't know if then after that I start working my meta characters. I'm not sure if I want to do Colossus just for the sake of doing Colossus. I would rather be doing my Black Bolt and maybe a Thanos team or something like that, right? It's
Well,
just
the only justification you have for that is people are using the X-Men or X-Tron, and having a big Colossus is going to help you get through Black Order if you're using them in a war offense.
yeah. I mean, I've definitely gotten value out of Colossus. All of these
Yeah.
characters have value except for two. Pretty much all these characters. I mean, I can say without a doubt that I have very little no value out of Sif. And people are like, well, she's
Except for
skill.
two.
Yeah, well, she's skill. And who else you gonna do skill? It's like, I need the SBCs. Never mind the skill. You know what I mean? I need the SBCs. And if I was gonna do skill today, knowing what I know now, I think there would be Proxima and Corvus, right? It's just like, my goodness. You know what I mean? Maybe not even them. I don't know, but not Sif. And let's keep moving on this list.
If you get one message from this video, it's manage your SBCs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that is the point of this video, is SBCs, superior basic catalysts, are a mess. And if someone's watching this video and doesn't know what SBCs are, I didn't even think to explain that. It's complete. We're talking about needing like thousands of these per character. Like Ebony Maw is like 1140. There's a handful of characters that are in the 500-600, but average is like 800-900. A lot of them are 1100 and Ebony Maw is like 1140. Off the top of my head, I mean, I'm not a walking dictionary on this stuff, but I'm pretty sure he's like 1140. It's really high.
You're probably right. You're probably right in the money on that. But don't forget, you could also buy them for $19.99 for
Oh God.
100.
Oh God. Yeah.
For savings of 70% off.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go to your roster right after this, and then I just want to say, please. So I made the mistake of taking Shitty Trooper up to 14 because he has no mini uniques. Well, it turns out the SBCs are way more valuable than the mini uniques at this point in time. Yeah. Complete waste. Shield Matic, complete waste. I don't want to say Ultron was a complete waste, but I should have done Minerva first. And he, that's the problem, is I got to do her first before Ultron. And I don't even know if Ultron is necessary today at 14. I mean, his kit does all the work anyways. It's not like he's doing anything extra. It's nice to have, but it's a luxury, right?
I'm gonna load up my roster. You can take a look, and you're gonna see my mistakes.
Okay? Load up your roster, and we'll take a look at yours, and then we'll end up the video. Let's see. There we go. So this is Reminix roster, and you've got. This is like. I don't even what call it. Look at this stuff right here. Anyways, go tell me about your roster.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of these things. Remember, I basically used that chart that we showed you earlier to kind of get through the Dark Dimension on the first time, because I made a ton of mistakes. I actually had way too many G13, and I burnt through SBCs like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And so I made mistakes, so you didn't have to, but I will tell you that I learned. I did. So I'll show you. Like, my biggest mistake was right here. Shuri.
Yeah, and she's a great character. It's a legendary character.
She's phenomenal.
But the problem is she's tech, and so is Ultron, and so is Minerva, and you have to put it into Minerva. It's really right? Anyways.
On the global node, she was dead 90% of my attempts before she did anything. Maybe defense up periodically and maybe help out Phoenix, and there was a couple times with the heal. Again, nothing really out of there that I thought was great. I did Loki. And while Loki, again, felt good but Mystic, and the same problem you have is you're looking at their origin traits and trying to figure out what makes sense, and that wasn't it. And then other mistakes I made, same mistake, and I guess I can justify it with a 7 red star,
right?
But honestly, to give you an idea, a 7 red star was doing no better than any other minion would do. He was just getting annihilated. He literally was only used for filler when I wanted to get to Phoenix faster.
Yeah. And I guess the thing about Dark Dimension 3 is literally they do so much damage and your characters die so quickly, and it's over in 30 seconds if you don't have it on 1x. I mean, and you have to just like, wow, what just happened? And you're hoping for them to target the Undead S Guardian or Phoenix dies twice, or I mean, it's such a strange game mode for the value. It's just like, and hopefully you get so this seems good. Well, maybe you'll get a revive from Scientist Supreme. Well, then they just instantly die again, right? You know what I mean?
Who's she gonna revive? The only one you're worried about is reviving Phoenix, and she doesn't revive Phoenix.
Yeah, and your characters are not doing enough damage compared to the Hellsteel that Phoenix and Minerva's doing. It's just such a weird game mode.
She was a liability because if I did a buff flip, chances are I was getting my own guys killed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How are you going to do? How are you going to do a give everybody negative effects and then flip? She's not going to get that second turn. She's going to die. It's such a weird game mode. Anyways, so keep going down, Rice, and just talk about. And the thing is yes, after you go through Dark Dimension the first time around, then like
that's why my rock. So I've done both attempts. So this is after I've done my first and second attempts.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why you're going to see all these guys that I can click on, and if I wanted to, I could hit equip all.
Yeah.
But that's the big difference. Just so that you get it after your first attempt, you're going to be able to bring in those units that you're like, oh, it'll make it a little bit easier. Right. It's going to be cheaper in the long run to do that instead of like Venom. If you can bring up Venom for City without sacrificing the Carnage and Symbiote Spider-Man, he is amazing. But I did it my second run. I was able to do it the first time.
Yeah, and so it's like if I knew what I knew today, let's switch back to my roster real quick. If I knew what I knew today, then I would have been able to get there faster. Do I lose you? Did you disappear on me? There we go. Here we go. There we go. Well, if I knew what I knew today, and
Uber difficulties.
Yeah, it's okay.
My.
There we go. But if I knew what I knew today, I would have done these characters first, and that would have allowed me to be done by now, basically. I would be done, and then I have all these extra resources to put into other characters and upgrade the characters I want. That's the thing, is do these first, and then you could do the characters you want. And my suggestion is meta characters only. We're talking about your Black Bolts and your arena team and your U7 team, whatever you want to do is fine, but meta characters only, not Sif, not Shield Trooper, not Shield Medic. I mean, I could talk about the benefits of them, but it comes down to resource management and choosing wisely. All right, head over to Reminex's channel. Anything you want to say before we go? Because we're going to do the giveaway. Are you ready for the giveaway?
I think the giveaway is important. You can hang out, and like I said, one thing I'll tell you is if you just do those, all those characters also have so much value. You could use the Symbiotes as the raid team in U7. Don't forget that.
Yes, and Venom, and then I think Symbiotes is going to be the way of the future. We just need 2 more Symbiotes for them to be nearly broken.
Why would you want to do that? You bring in 2 more Symbiotes, and then we're back to that point where you don't use any other team.
I don't think they're going to do that, but I'm hopeful. I think they're smart. I don't think they're going to do it for a long time. But I tell you, every one of us is chomping for another symbiote. Absolutely, right? Because we already know the power of the 3 right now. I mean, it's a complete team, and we just need 1 more, and it's like, and then we get 2 more, and we're just like, they could do that at like 6 months to a year from now. They don't have to do it today. They'll do it someday. Anyways, guess what time it is?
Time for a giveaway.
It's time for the giveaway. Okay, so we're gonna do a very special giveaway today, just because Reminex's here, and it's interesting. You actually didn't know about this giveaway. You didn't know about this, did you?
I didn't know they existed.
This is a special Mobile Boomer and Rema Boomer giveaway. Are you ready?
Let's take a look.
I really hope you like this video today. I really hope you like this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video today, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star Deadpool and an 8-star Sonic the Hedgehog. Because we've got Nerd Sonic the Teenage Hedgehog. We might as well get their counterpart Sonic and Deadpool. What do you think of these characters? Are you thrilled to get these characters for free in your account just by liking the video?
I can't wait to get them a G15.
I like the guy's hair. It's just these little details that they put into the art here in Marvel Strike Force that just make it over the top. You heard it here first. Coming to the game soon, next week for sure. Not a scam. This is not a scam. Just not a scam. Anyways, head over to Reminex's channel. Lots of great videos over there, especially your seed theory. I think that's what you're known for right now, and your beautiful, sexy roster for sure.
And remember, I did things so you didn't have to. So
yes.
enjoy.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and keep on gaming. Bye.